Welcome back to another video here on V-Rule. I am going to be ranking the cards from Twilight Masquerade. Not all of them. Let's just kind of be realistic. I'm not going to take the time to go through all of them. Anything above a regular EX card. So we're talking special illustration rare, hyper rares, those kinds of things. So that's what we're looking at here. And we have 4 different categories where we can place them. Pure gold, overpriced, spot on, and room to grow. Now, the reality is you could judge a set 1,000 different ways. 1, playability in the TCG. 2, the price overall, where is it at in the current market. 3, the artwork itself. There's 100 different ways to go here. I mean, you can mix it up however you want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be taking these cards one at a time, putting them in a ranking system here based on the current market value, if it's something that would be pure gold to be holding on to or pick up right now because it's going to be the long-term big winner based on market value today. That means things can change. I'm not a financial advisor, but you can take it with a grain of salt, and I appreciate you taking this advice and doing what you will with it. It's up to you. So I invest in certain areas of Pokemon. Again, a bunch of different ways you can do it. Let's just jump in and see how we can go about here. And also comment if you like this kind of content and let me know if it's worth it, because this is the first time I've used this in trying to do any sort of ranking. So I'd love to know your feedback if this is a good video type to go for here. So I'm going to have Twilight Masquerade prices over here. We're going to flip through these A-Spec cards, and actually they're all sitting around very similar prices here, except for Unfair Stamp. Unfair Stamp is actually somewhat playable in the TCG, and right now that price is sitting at $6. Once that becomes not very playable, we're going to see it sit in the same range of this 50 cent to $1.50 range. So actually with all of these, I'm going to say they're actually spot on, especially when you think about the current price on these, because they're so interesting. If you haven't seen it in person or held one of these, they're actually quite beautiful. The color scheme is awesome. I think these have a longer term potential than the Radiant cards we saw. So that's where I'm at. Because it's playable, it's totally fine. I don't think it'll be playable for a long time, so I'm just going to put it at spot on for now. It is playable. That's what the price is about on this one here. So nice and easy to take a look there. The order of these cards is not in any particular order. It's just best match on here, TCG player. So the Twilight Masquerade cards might not be in a particular order, but we're just going to follow what we see here, and I'll sift through on the sorting there. So I'm going to take a couple here that are a little bit obvious to me here. Chansey, 16 bucks. Eevee, $47. That's a little hot to me right now, but the reality is I think it's going to play long term, that one is going to be a good pickup now, and it'll be a good pickup to hold. If you have it, I would keep it. If you want to sell it and make a little bit, you can, but I think we're going to see that price go up. I don't think it's going to be Magikarp, from Lost Origin kind of price, but I think we're going to see it go up over time. Same with Chansey. For whatever reason, even though there's 9 generations, the Kanto region still reigns supreme. Now, I don't think that's even realistic, that the majority of people who came into Pokemon were introduced to it from that first generation, but for whatever reason, it stands the test of time to be the best. So you're going to be having a lot of those original 151 Pokemon that are going to be sticking out there for a long period of time there. Infernape, $9, gorgeous artwork. I think this one is actually, really good, and I think it has a lot of room to grow. Okay, a lot. It could double in price. That'd be 100% growth. Okay, and we're talking $16. So it still wouldn't be crazy, but I think there's room to grow on that one. Let's get into the Growlithe. We're at $8 there. That one for sure has a great look to it, and it matches up with the Perrin special illustration rare. I think it's actually spot on at $8. I don't think it needs to go too much higher. Maybe it'll get up to 10. We'll see that. Where are we at? Frostlass and Lyron. I don't know. Should probably look at the prices. We're at $4, $2. Whew. That one's underpriced in my opinion. I think it's actually pretty cool. This one, $4 is fine. It may have some room to grow. I'm actually going to go that route there. And I think with all special illustration rares, we're going to see that there's a little bit of room to grow if they aren't already in the spot on or gold mine kind of price here. So the Applin and Diplin duo there, and then looks like Stellar Crown's going to have another one to add to this grouping here, which will look awesome at $3, almost $4 there. I think those are actually in a good spot price-wise. I also think there's going to be some room to grow on those too. So let's jump those right in here, that it could go up a little bit, you know, maybe getting up almost to that $10 range when it's all said and done. I think what we're going to see is soon that these illustration rares are such an amazing art for their price. So picking them up early and getting duplicates is probably a good long-term thing to see. I don't know if we'll see crazy booms because they are much more abundant than people even think sometimes, but I think we'll have some long-term growth there. Timber, I think it's the only illustration rare that I pulled, and it's probably spot on for current market. Probopass, same thing, probably spot on for the current market. And Chimcho, yeah, I'm going to go same thing, that these are spot on. So let me see, Timber, Probopass, Chimcho, let's find them here. Timber, where you at? We got you there. Probopass, Timber, I think those are spot on, just because I think for current market, they're really not going to be growing anytime soon. They're kind of towards the bottom there. Torkoal, I think this one's actually undervalued because of the scenery with it. So we're going to take that Torkoal and we're going to say that there's room to grow on it for sure. This one, I love the artwork. Tatsuguri, can't even say it right. Sorry if I'm butchering it. $10. I think that's a really great deal at $10 right now. I'm going to say that's actually pure gold because I think the artwork is beautiful. Again, these are a lot of just my own opinions, and from what I've seen of other artworks and where they go, I think that one's beautiful. It's bright, colorful, simplistic, and I think it's got some a lot of potential. So I think it's kind of a gold mine right now to be grabbing that at $10 or less. Pinsir, what a really cool artwork on that one, and I think it's got some room to grow when we're looking at that current price. Watrel looks like a little simple on the artwork there, but I think that'd have room to grow there. Sunflora, same kind of thing. I think there's room to grow at these lower prices. These might be worth picking up, even if you already got them. Just getting a couple extra at under $2, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy there. Poltergeist, probably in that room to grow. I think we're gonna find a lot of these are in the room to grow range here. When we get down to it, did I get to the end? Fiona, this one I don't think is a room to grow. I think this is spot on for what it is. Nothing going for crazy overpriced just yet. Let's get to page 2 here and see if we can wrap this up. We're going to be getting into the special illustration rares and the hyper rares on this page, so I think we will be seeing some things that are going to be a little bit overpriced here. Cramorant, way underpriced in my opinion. Beautiful artwork there. Heliolisk, same kind of thing, room to grow. And Namorous, I just don't think it's that popular for Pokemon that it might be spot on. So let's say room to grow over here. I'm going to go with that. Can we get to the next row? There we are. We're going to say spot on here. Looking at our golds. Let's move into the golds. We'll have to skip over that Greninja for now. Buddy Buddy Puffin. This one is going to be a nice flashy version to be adding to your deck for the playability. In that regard, I think it's actually a little overpriced, to be honest. As far as gold cards go, I think that's a little bit hot there to be coming close to $40. Maybe it'd be in the $25 range, even for deck flair. I think it's a little bit overpriced. So that's, again, my opinion there. Teal Mask Ogerpon gold card, same kind of thing. I think we're a little bit overpriced, but it's based on the playability, which makes it kind of spot on for the current market. These things could change in a flash, but I think maybe that's spot on there. Enhanced Hammer, Rescue Board, Luminous Energy, anything getting close to that $10 range on a gold card, you're pretty much there. I think that's pretty spot on there. Let's take a look here. Let's go spot on with these. Blood Moon Ursaluna, same kind of thing. Actually, that one I feel like could have room to grow because we're Pokemon on there. Pokemon on the gold is usually a good thing. Let's do the Ogerpon special illustration rares. 18 bucks, 25, 40. Again, playability is boosting that one up. $19. I think if we're in that $20 range on these, we're in a good spot. This one has playability for current market, so I'm going to say spot on for all of these when it comes down to it. It's just the nature of the market today. Again, things change. Hard to know if it's going to last this way or if there's, you know, somewhere else it needs to move. I think that's all of them, right? We got 4. Excellent. Let's go through these special illustration rares here. Sinus Dacha? I don't know. I don't know how to say these. Why do I try? $23 special illustration rare. It's okay. I think it's probably spot on. It's not the greatest artwork for it. Blood Moon Ursaluna EX, $50 almost card. I think that's probably spot on. I'd love to say it has room to grow, but I just don't think we're going to see it going anytime soon. Maybe long term we'll see something, but I think that's going to be pretty much spot on. And the good thing about doing it at this point, it's the newest set that's available to us, but it's been out for a little bit, so it's had time to kind of level out in the market to see what's realistic. So it's not a hard set to be critiquing at this point here. So Lana's Aid, $32. Actually, I think that one has some room to grow because it's such a unique artwork here. Really, really cute with that core fish in the foreground there. That's cool. Getting a little lost here. Let's go with Kieran. This one might be spot on. I think it is. I think we're spot on there. We're going to be going into the Perrin. I really like Perrin. This would be my chase for the set. But $75. I don't think there's much more to go on that, and I don't think it's overpriced. It's pretty much solid where it's at. I'd say that's pretty solid where it's at, even though I haven't been able to pick it up yet. Trying to see if I can wait out the market a little bit to cool. Carmine, getting a $110 card. I think this one's a little overpriced for what it is. It's a gorgeous card, it is, but I think it should be closer to that Perrin price there, about $75 at most. I think we're looking a little too hot on that one there. And if you've been on this channel a little bit longer than 30 seconds or even right now, you know my opinion on the Greninja EX. The fact that it shot up so high, I think it shot up to 260 for a minute in some places that you can find on the eBay. We're looking at 260, 280, ridiculous numbers. TCG players been a little bit more conservative at 240, but even still, is that realistic? Because the listed median is 280 now. So let's see here, near mint, 231 plus 5, no sales, and they're going for 237. Okay, so 236 rather. I don't know if that's a safe one to go for there. We have 100%, 236 again, so maybe that's what they're competing with, and I think that's reasonable. Now we're getting to the 251 here on just a couple of sales there. So it's creeping up, still floating around these higher prices. Kind of nuts. I think it's way overpriced in my opinion. $100 card, $150 if you want to be generous on that one. I just think as a few more sets come out, we're going to see that one kind of falls by the wayside as far as what people are thinking about and how they're feeling about it. I'm not going to do the rest of these. I should have filtered a little bit better, but these full arts, it's just not worth digging into right now. And the EX cards, same thing. Those things are a dime a dozen. You have playability factor. That's going to drive the price up. They usually level out just fine. Full arts do the same thing. You usually level out just fine. It's once you get into the rare stuff, the end of that booklet, when you're looking in the ETB box there, the end of that booklet of the card list, those are the ones you want to kind of be judging there. I think these are the best pickups right now at their current price, that they're probably in a good spot, that you're not going to lose a lot on them, and they do have the most potential to be going up from this point. Maybe not by much. So I'm gonna take my bias of really liking that card out of it and say Perrin's going to be spot on for now. But I think these three illustration rares have a lot more room to grow in the future here. I think we got to bring these things down quite a bit for what they are. This is all playability, so it's probably reasonable for today's market. But that's where I'm at. Most things kind of level out, and they go to end up being in a spot on place there. I think the A-Spec cards would be great pickups for long term. Again, I think they're beautiful, better look than the Radiants, and they're trainers, so they have they're support cards basically that have a lot more potential in the TCG to be manipulated and how they can be used. So they're a little less deck specific and a little bit more available to cross pollinate, I guess. So room to grow. It's going to be those low end costs that, you know, just a couple more dollars, even if they double in price and go to $4 or $5, some of these, you know, that's a huge increase. Huge. As far as percentage, it's a huge increase. However, for one card that you pick up for $2 and then it's worth $4, are you going to be selling it? If you got thousands of them, fine, you can make some money, but the reality is no. You're probably going to hold on to it for a little bit longer term than that. So the artworks are getting pretty nice out there, and I think I want to jump through each set, but I'd like your feedback to know if it's worth doing so, starting with Twilight Masquerade and work my way backwards to see what we can kind of critique out of the sets. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you like this, or if you want me to continue this, or have suggestions of what I should be critiquing and how to rank in a system. Again, my opinion, and it means nothing. So it's a fun little exercise, just kind of be a little bit more familiar with the set and walk through and see where things are at as far as market. So like, comment, subscribe. Peace.